Hi everyone, welcome back to day 15. So today's going to be a little bit different, a little bit more of an easier day. We're going to spend some time talking about place value. This is the last day before spring break, so when we get back after the next week, we're going to start some brand new fourth quarter material, okay? So I wanted to take today to just review some place value stuff before we move on. All right, our I can is I can complete different tasks using place value. When you log on to PowerSchool, you're going to see a screen that's going to look like this. And I'm going to have a number of the day for you. You're going to have to do all of these tasks in your math notebook for the day, okay? All right, so the number of the day that I'm going to use for our example is 155. You can see it right here in the center. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to color 155 using my base 10 blocks. In your math notebook, you're going to model that number by drawing out your base 10 blocks, okay? I'm going to choose a color that you can see, so I'm going to go with pink. 155, it has 100, so I would draw in my notebook 100. I'm going to color it in here so we can all see. Well, maybe not. There we go, 100. 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just represented the number of the day, 155. Now, I'm going to complete all of these tasks on the screen. In your notebook, you're going to write them each out, and I'll give you an example of what you need to do. I'm going to start over here on the side. 155. What is 1 more than 155? In other words, what happens when I add 1 to 155? I get 156. What is 1 less than 155? I'm going to take 1 away. 154. What is 10 more than 155? 165. I added 10 more to the number of the day. What is 10 less than 155? I'm taking 10 away. What is 100 more? I'm adding 100 to 155. 255. What is 100 less? What happens when I take 100 away? I'm left with just 55. Now, down here at the bottom, rounded to the nearest 100 and the nearest 10. All right, so I'm going to go over here to a sheet, and I'm going to round to the nearest 100, and I'm going to round to the nearest 10. Now, we've spent time this week rounding. I'm going to draw out my number lines to get me started. First, to the nearest 100. I'm rounding to my nearest 100, so I know that I need to look at my hundreds place. A 1 is in my hundreds place, so I know that 1/100 is equal to 100. If I'm counting by hundreds, 200 comes next, and in the middle or at my midpoint is 150. Now 155 comes after 150, just barely, but it does. So is 155 closer to 200 or closer to 100? It is closer to 200, so it rounds up to 200. Now I'm going to round to my nearest tens. I'm looking at my tens place. I have a 5 in my tens place, so I know that 5 tens is the same thing as 50. My 100 stays the same. 50 here. What comes after 50 when I'm counting by tens? 60, and in the middle is 55. Well, looky here. 155 is my midpoint. And we've talked about if it is my midpoint, it's going to automatically round up because it is closer to 160. So it rounds up to 160. 200, 160. Now let's do this box next. Place value. How many hundreds? 1. How many tens? 5. How many ones? 5. Is my number even or odd? Well, what place value do I look at to determine this? I look at my ones place. I know that 5 is an odd number, so 155 is odd. Next, addition number sentence. I can come up with any number sentence as long as it adds together to equal 155. So I'm going to do 100 plus 55. Subtraction number sentence. I can come up with any subtraction sentence that equals 155. I'm going to do 225 minus 70 equals 155. You could come up with any number sentence that you want to, as long as it equals our number of the day. We have 4 more boxes. I'm going to do my number pattern. I can come up with any pattern as long as it includes my number of the day. I'm going to count by ones though, just to keep it easy. 151, 52, 53, 54, and 55. Notice I was counting by ones. Next, make the biggest number possible. If I were to take my numbers and rearrange them to make the biggest number, I would get 551. 2 more. Expanded form. If I were to stretch this number out and write it using expanded form, I would get 100 plus 50 plus 5. And last but not least, double the number. So, let me erase this page. Remember a couple of months ago we talked about what it meant to double. So when we double, we either add the number 2 times, so add it together, or we multiply by 2. In this case, I'm going to use adding, so I'm going to add this number together. 155 plus 155. I'm going to use base 10, 100, 5 tens, and 5 ones. And I'm going to do it twice because I'm adding that number twice. Now remember, we always start with our ones when we're adding. 5 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stop, I circle, and I have to regroup because I know that 10 ones make a 10. I'm left with 0 ones. Now I'm going to count my tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to stop real quick, circle, regroup because 10 tens make 100, and I'm left with 1. 110. 1, 2, 3, 300s. So 155 doubled is 310. I'm going to give you an example of what your notebook should look like, and then I'm going to give you 2 number of the days to complete. Remember, this is all focusing on place value. Remember to take a picture of your notebook and send it to your teacher. This is your last day before spring break. Enjoy your spring break, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.